manager, Michael Martin, and you'll know him. You'll just see our campaign banner on his page. And we want all the help we can get. We're looking for fundraisers, people that know how to go out and raise the money, all kinds of different people. People who can do social media, people who can man social media channels, all kinds of people. Every little bit helps. And people that just want to help spread the word through their friends.
Right. You know, and this is why I like having people like have people such as yourself on here, because we're not looking for the glamour of the Hollywood. We're looking for the true human interest stories. That's what we do here. We look for the true human interest stories. You know what? It brings a better news out than what you're finding on television or radio. That's what we're doing. We are not reinventing a wheel. We're just making the wheel turn some more. That's all we're doing.
And that's the thing. We basically, because the media won't give us any attention whatsoever, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, MSNBC,
CNN, nope.
Completely refused coal.
Yep.
We contacted them numerous times, and I was in New York City, stopped in their studios, gave them a card with coal. They will not talk to us. We are not going
right, and they'll not publish you in the New Yorker, the New York Times, the New York Post. They will not post you there either. I know, just completely, it's hogwash. It's censorship of the gazoo. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And people like such as yourself who care about this country, doesn't matter of what country, what color you look like, doesn't matter where you come from. If you love this country and you respect the traditions of what the constitutional conservative is in this country, if you respected that.
This guy hit it right on the head. What is constitutional? Thank you. Wow. Somebody got it.
Right. What is constitutional? Exactly. The constitutional conservative values, what this constitutional conservative values is in this country. And that's what we want. That's all the principles we're looking for. And, you know, you cannot find this Donald Trump. You ask him about the Constitution. He said, oh, I studied the Constitution. I know about the Constitution. You don't have to tell me about the Constitution. I already know about the Constitution. Well, what part did he not understand about the Second Amendment? You know, people have a right to carry bear arms. You know, he flip-flopped on that issue several times over 15 years so far. 15 years.
See, this is another reason why what we intend to do, we're going to overturn the Hughes Act, because there's nowhere, anywhere in the Second Amendment that defines what a firearm should or shouldn't be.
Right.
Now, none of this to tell you, and I'll say it right on TV, that America should be able to have the same firepower that's available to law enforcement should be available to them, so that there is no way that the government can overpower the people. If they can have machine guns, we should have machine guns. If they can have Desert Eagles, we should be having Desert Eagles. If they have 50 DMGs, then guess what? We should have that available for us to purchase. I mean, if you got the money for it, not that, you know.
Right.
The point being that what the government has, we should have. And what's more important is, and I've told people this, and I wanted to thank Ben Kerry and Mike Hutton for this. What they said was, we don't need a president. We need a representative of the people.
That's right.
You need a leader, but you want a representative of the people, not a president.
Yeah, we want a representative of the people, for the people, by the people. And this is what Abraham Lincoln did, by the way. You know, if Abraham Lincoln was a statesman, not just a statesman, he was a spokesman too as well for the American people. That's what he was. He was a spokesperson. That's what he was. He put his whole entire career on the line being president. That's what he did. You know, he said, I'm a lawyer. I came from Illinois, but you realize, you know, the guy was passionate for this country. He cared enough about the Constitution. You see, he studied law to understand what the Constitution's conservative values are in this country. And this is why he was a Republican, by the way. This is why he chose to be a Republican. You know, it's just amazing. You know, here we are, 150 years anniversary, and I got to meet Tom Lee Jones at Abraham Lincoln, gave the Gettysburg Address, and we have that on our website, by the way. A complete 2 minute and 30 and 2 minutes and 30 and 23 seconds is what it is. As we have it right there. Complete Gettysburg Address. We have it right there.
Well, I'll tell you this. On my trip to the Northeast, I specifically went to Independence Hall to tour twice, not for a media blitz. I felt it was that important to be there, to read these documents, to understand these documents, and so this way I knew exactly what I was adhering to and what mission I was going to need to do to get the job done.
Right.
And it was a very moving experience. I took a lot away from it. I learned a lot from it. And I specifically told the tour guide, I told him I was a candidate, gave him my card, showed him the credentials, and told him I firmly believe every single candidate who's running should be required to come to Independence Hall, take the tour, read the Constitution, read the Bill of Rights, through and through until they understand it before they can actually swear into office.
Right. I'll have some. I'll go and have it doesn't matter if it's an actor or reenactor, saying what the Gettysburg Address is, because this past year I got to do just that. I got to see living history. It was the 100th anniversary to Pioneer Cemetery, one of the oldest pioneer cemeteries in the United States of this side of the country, by the way, in California, northern part of California. The one of the oldest cemeteries in this country, 100 years old. And Tommy Jones, dressed up as Abraham Lincoln, gave the Gettysburg Address, the whole thing at the cemetery. There was no power lines. There was no cars. You couldn't see anything. It was just a cemetery in the background. It was a natural setting, just completely natural. It was 74 degrees outside. It was a nice sunny day. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that experience, because why? I got to see the Gettysburg Address. First time for me in person, actually, to watch this living history. And that's one thing that should be required of most politicians. You have to be required to actually participate in something historic when you do run for president. That's what you should do. That's one thing that it should be required when you run for president. It should be required, and they don't do it anymore. And it's sad.
Exactly. I'm completely with you, 100%.
You know, this is what requirements should be. You have to do something historic.
Yep. And here's another thing, and let me tell you this.
And be part of it.
Along with term limits, salary reductions, retirement reductions, is going to come something brand new, untested, unconventional. I believe that every single elected and appointed official has got to be on probation for 180 days. I once said 120, somebody said, no, you got to give them 180 days. So let's say 180 days.
180 days.
To cut the mustard or get cut, because every other worker would go to a job and they're on a 90-day probation.
Right.
We'll give them an extra 90 days. But here's the catch. And this is something they're going to learn. There's no more lame duck. There's no more red tape. And there's no more of this 6 months. No. You don't get a full-time salary and work 6 months a year. It doesn't work like that.
No.
You're going to be there 11 months and 1 week, and you get 3 weeks a year for your vacation, and you don't get to take the whole 3 weeks in one shot. You just stand that 3 weeks out over the entire year. So you can take a week here, and a week there, and a week here. Just like anybody else. Like you can take a week at Christmas, and maybe a week at Thanksgiving.
Right.
And then you got 1 week in the summer.
And you have to, and here's the thing, and here's the thing,
doing your job as you're supposed to. It will be reported to the people whether you were there, what you voted on, what you did, what you didn't do, if you abstained from voting. And they're going to start presenting bills that are written that a fourth grader can understand them in a PDF version that can be shot out to the entire nation
right.
to review.